Life has a funny way of bringing people together sometimes when you least expect it. And here I am, standing in front of you, feeling a kind of calm I've never known before. Every moment, every memory we've shared has led me to this point. I've thought about love a lot, what it really means, what it truly asks of us. And I've realized that love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice, a promise, a kind of quiet courage. Today I'm here to say that I am ready, not just in words, but in every part of me, to make you my wife, to walk beside you, to grow with you, to share every sunrise and every storm. And I say this with all the honesty in my heart. There's no one else I want to spend the rest of my life with. No one else I'd rather choose every single day like I choose you now. I've spent a lot of time thinking about love and what it really means, not in the stories or movies we watch, not in the fleeting words we speak in passing, but in the quiet moments, in the spaces between breaths, in the pauses of ordinary life when nothing seems extraordinary except the presence of someone who makes your heart feel like it belongs somewhere. There's a rhythm to love, a subtle cadence that can't always be described, but you feel it unmistakably when the world becomes simultaneously larger and smaller, more vivid and more delicate. The moment you realize someone isn't just part of your life, but the reason your life feels fuller, more alive, more meaningful, you become aware that every trivial choice, every passing thought, every lingering smile, every awkward silence, every laugh that echoes in your chest is colored by the thought of her, by the awareness that she exists and that somehow, mysteriously, she chose to be present in your world too, that she allows herself to be seen, to be known, to be loved, and that this permission, this openness is the most sacred gift you could ever hope to receive. I remember thinking that love was something you fell into, something unpredictable, almost accidental, but now I understand that real love is something you grow into, something you discover in the quiet, consistency of presence, in the act of noticing the little things, in the patience it takes to wait, to understand, to listen, and to care in ways that go beyond words, beyond gestures, beyond the fleeting highs of infatuation. Because what we have isn't just passion, it's a foundation, it's a current that runs deeper than any thrill or excitement. It's a shared trust in the unspoken, in the simple truth that life without her would feel incomplete in ways you can't fully articulate. I think about the first time I realized I loved her, not in some dramatic, cinematic moment, but in the way her laughter lingered, in the way her eyes reflected light I didn't know existed, in the way her presence quieted the noise in my mind, made the world feel calm, even when everything else was chaotic. And I understood that love isn't always a storm, or a declaration, it's sometimes a whisper, a gentle insistence, a soft yet unshakable certainty that this is the person you want to wake up beside, to grow old with, to learn with, to stumble with, to rise with, to be with in ways that are real and raw and imperfect, because in that imperfection, in that honesty, in that acceptance of each other's shadows, as well as the light, the true beauty of love resides. And it calls for courage, the kind of courage that doesn't seek applause or recognition, but quietly chooses devotion every day, in every small action, in the patience to forgive, the willingness to listen, the readiness to hold space for someone else's fears, dreams, and sorrows, and to do it without complaint, without expectation, simply because their presence enriches your life in ways you can't fully describe. And the thought of life without them becomes almost unimaginable, not because the world would be cruel, but because your world would be dimmer, quieter, less certain, less complete. And I realized then, with a clarity that both thrilled and terrified me, that I am ready to make her my wife, ready not just in the excitement of romantic gestures, not just in the declarations that can fade with time, but ready in the quiet, persistent, unwavering commitment to choose her every day, in the mundane, in the extraordinary, in the calm and in the storms, in ways that honor the depth of connection we share, in ways that say, without needing words, that she is home, she is belonging, that she is my companion, my confidant, my equal, my anchor, my adventure, my safe place, my inspiration, my calm in the chaos, my laughter in the sorrow, the person I want to see when I wake up and the thought I carry into sleep, the hand I hold when the world feels uncertain, the heart I trust with mine completely, the soul I honor with mine, the person I have chosen with every fiber of my being and will continue to choose endlessly, because love is not just a feeling, it's a commitment, a journey, a shared life, a continuous decision, a quiet courage, and in that courage I have found a clarity I have never known, and it is with that clarity, with that intention, with that unwavering certainty that I know I am ready to make her my wife, to embark on the life we dream of together, to face everything side by side, to grow together, to heal together, to laugh, cry, learn, stumble, rise, and exist together in a way that honors every moment that led me here, every moment that brought her to me, every shared memory, every touch, every glance, every smile, every word, every silence, every heartbeat, every breath, until the rest of our days are lived in the knowledge that we have chosen each other fully, completely, relentlessly, endlessly, without hesitation, without doubt, without reserve, because there is no other person I want beside me in this life, no other heart I want to mirror mine, no other soul I would rather walk with. And in that truth I find both peace and exhilaration, the quiet joy of certainty, the humble awe of connection, the infinite gratitude that the universe allowed our paths to cross, and that here now, in this moment, I can say, not with expectation, not with ceremony, not with dramatics, but with the purest honesty of my existence, that I am ready, fully ready, wholly ready, completely ready to make her my wife. Love is not just about the moments that take your breath away, the fireworks, or the rush of emotion that makes your chest feel impossibly full. Love, the kind that lasts, the kind that builds a life, is quiet in its insistence, steady in its presence, patient in its understanding, and unwavering in its choice. Commitment is not merely a word we speak or a promise we make once. It is the daily, unspoken decision to be present, to choose the same person every single day, even when the world is chaotic, even when life doesn't match the dreams we imagined. To commit is to recognize that love is not always convenient, that it asks for vulnerability, for courage, for the willingness to see each other at our most flawed and still hold on, still give space, still trust. It is the act of saying, with your words, your actions, your life, that you are ready to be someone's home, someone's safe place, someone's unwavering support in every circumstance. Commitment is not about perfection. It is about presence, about choosing to face the storms together, to celebrate the quiet victories, to nurture the shared life you are building, to create a rhythm in which both hearts move in tandem, not identical, but in harmony, understanding that love is a dance, sometimes awkward, sometimes effortless, sometimes slow, sometimes fast, but always shared. To be committed is to embrace the responsibility of someone else's heart, to hold it with care, to respect it, to honor it, not as a possession, but as a gift, as a sacred trust, a living thing that grows and thrives under attention, understanding, and empathy. In choosing you, I am choosing to be present, to be patient, to be attentive, to listen with intent, to hear not just the words but the emotions beneath them, to respond not only with love, but with understanding, to offer comfort when the world feels heavy, to celebrate when life shines, to walk beside you in a way that acknowledges the depth of our connection and the sanctity of the bond we share. Commitment is choosing the person in every ordinary moment, in the mornings when the alarm rings and the world feels sluggish, in the nights when fatigue drags at the edges of patience, in the mundane tasks, the quiet conversations, the shared laughter, and the occasional tears, in the moments no one sees, no one celebrates, but which make the foundation of a shared life unshakable. To commit is to say without hesitation, without reservation, without doubt, that I am ready to carry both the light and the shadow of this love, that I am ready to give my whole heart to protect, nurture, and honor yours, and to accept that our journey together will not always be smooth, but that it will be ours, unique and irreplaceable, and worth every challenge, every effort, every moment of growth. Commitment is the promise to communicate, to forgive, to grow together, to create a partnership that is not dependent on perfection, but on persistence, not on luck, but on choice, not on fleeting feelings, but on deliberate acts of care and devotion. It is the courage to show up again and again, even when fear whispers doubt, even when the world pressures us to question, even when past wounds try to shadow the present. To commit to you is to acknowledge that life is uncertain, that tomorrow is never guaranteed, and that the truest expression of love is not in the fantasies of forever, but in the conscious choice to honor and cherish the person beside you today, right now, in every action, thought, and breath. This is why I am ready, fully ready, not just for the idea of marriage, not just for the ceremony, not just for the words that will be spoken on one day, but for the lifelong journey of choosing you every single day, with patience, with courage, with honesty, with respect, and with unwavering devotion, knowing that true love is a commitment of the soul, a decision of the heart, a promise in action, not just in words. And in this readiness, in this clarity, I find not only joy but peace, a quiet confidence that the life we will build together will be one of authenticity, depth, uh, endless care, a life in which we are each other's sanctuary, each other's mirror, each other's home, each other's partner in the truest sense. And it is with this awareness, this understanding, this choice that I stand here, ready to make you my wife, ready to walk forward with you into a shared life that honors the love, the trust, and the commitment we hold, knowing that in choosing you, I am choosing not just love, but a lifelong partnership, a shared journey, a continuous act of devotion that will define every day, every decision, every breath, and every heartbeat we share together, without reservation, without hesitation, with my whole heart, entirely, fully, and endlessly devoted. When I think about our life together, I don't just see moments, I see a tapestry woven from countless threads of shared experience, of dreams, of hope, of quiet understanding, of laughter and tears, of ordinary days and extraordinary nights, all blending into something more profound than either of us could create alone. I imagine mornings where the light spills softly across our room and I wake to the sight of you breathing peacefully, and in that small, sacred moment I feel the enormity of the life we are building together. I imagine evenings where the world outside feels heavy, where the chaos and unpredictability of life try to weigh us down, and yet we face it hand in hand, our hearts aligned, our spirits intertwined, knowing that together we can withstand anything, that together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. I see us in the kitchen, cooking simple meals, talking about our day, laughing at little things, noticing each other in ways no one else does, the ordinary becoming extraordinary simply because it is shared. I see us traveling to places we've only dreamed of, exploring unknown streets, tasting new foods, feeling the thrill of discovery, and realizing that even the world outside seems brighter, more alive, more vivid because we are experiencing it together. I see us in moments of struggle, when life tests our patience, when our dreams are delayed, when disappointments arrive unexpectedly and yet we hold each other close, reminding ourselves that love is not just in the easy, shining moments, but in the endurance, in the courage to stand by each other, in the willingness to lift one another when one falls, in the quiet reassurance that no matter what happens, we are not facing it alone. I imagine conversations that stretch into the night, where we speak without fear, without hesitation, where our hearts lay themselves bare and we see each other completely, the light and the shadows, the fears and the joys, the past and the future, all met with acceptance, understanding, and care. I see the small rituals, the gestures that speak louder than words, the touch of a hand, the brush of a shoulder, the way our eyes meet across a room, communicating volumes without a single word being spoken. I see us dreaming together, creating a life that reflects both of us, a life of shared goals, shared aspirations, shared growth, understanding that a dream is not merely an individual pursuit but a collaboration, a building of a world where both our hearts can thrive, where both our spirits can expand, where the love we nurture radiates into every corner of the life we touch. I see us supporting each other's passions, cheering for each other's achievements, comforting in disappointments, celebrating the small victories, honoring the journey as much as the destination, understanding that the joy of life is amplified when shared with the one you love. I see quiet nights with books in hand, or music playing softly, or simply sitting together, watching the world move past our window, content in each other's presence, knowing that this simple peace is a miracle of its own. The calm between storms, the gentle rhythm of life unfolding in a way that feels both effortless and sacred. I see holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, milestones marked not by extravagance but by intention, by the thought and care we put into honoring each other, remembering that life is a collection of moments and that those moments are infinitely richer, when they are spent together. I see challenges, yes, financial pressures, misunderstandings, moments of fatigue, moments of doubt, but I see us facing them, not running, not retreating, not blaming, but engaging with love as our compass, understanding that the trials of life are only significant when we face them divided, and that when we face them united, they become opportunities to grow, to strengthen, to deepen the bond we share. I see laughter in abundance, not forced, not hollow, but the kind that bubbles up from the heart, the laughter that only two people who truly understand each other can share, the laughter that turns ordinary days into memories we will carry forever. I see a life built on trust, on honesty, on openness, on the understanding that we are both human, both flawed, both learning, and that in learning together, we find not only growth but joy, not only resilience but beauty, not only commitment but freedom, because to share a life fully is to be vulnerable fully, to give fully and to receive fully, and in that exchange, the ordinary world transforms into something magical, something lasting, something sacred. I see love as a verb, as action, as presence, as dedication, as the gentle persistence to choose each other over and over again, to honor the life we are building, to nurture it, protect it, and allow it to flourish, to create a home not merely of walls and roof, but of hearts, of trust, of shared dreams, of laughter, of tears, of countless small moments that together create a world that is uniquely ours. And in this vision, I see not only a shared existence, but a shared destiny, a life that is lived intentionally, fully, consciously, with hearts aligned, spirits entwined, hands held through everything. Looking toward the horizon, not alone but together, not by chance but by choice. And it is with this vision, with this hope, with this dream of a life fully shared, fully experienced, fully loved that I say in every fiber of my being that I am ready to make you my wife, to walk beside you into this life we will build together, to embrace every joy, every challenge, every ordinary and extraordinary moment, knowing that together we are home, together we are complete, together we are infinite in the quiet power of shared love.